Hello, my spooky pookies. Thank you so much for stopping by stream. Guess who else is here today? She has been such a pain in the ass all morning, but we're here. Today we are going to play Vampire Therapist. So yeah, let's just jump right into it before I eat the cat. And then let me know if the audio levels are funky or anything like that. Let's see. Vampire Therapist explores or touches on sensitive topics such as war, abuse, addiction, sexual oppression, suicidal ideation, religion, and of course death. These may be uncomfortable or upsetting for some readers. We recommend that readers with a history of trauma related to any of these topics approach this game with caution. Naturally, a game about vampires will also involve blood and sexual themes. Strong language is also present. Girl, that is my shirt. Vampire Therapist was developed in consultation with a licensed therapist, but it should not be considered a substitute for therapy unless you're a vampire.
My name is Sam Walls, and I'm a dead man. Well, kinda dead at least. See, I'm a vampire. Now, if you think that means all that Dracula hooey, like hissing, wearing skin-tight leather, and hunting mortals for sport, I wouldn't blame you one bit. That's exactly the sort of thing I did in my younger years with my former gang. And let me tell you, a vampire who's good with a gun can be a real terror. I got lucky though. I met some kind mortals who saw beyond my fangs. They taught me my letters and showed me how my thinking was keeping me from finding any kind of peace.
Aww.
After they passed on, I roamed America's majestic wilderness for nigh on 90 years, figuring out myself and what it means to be a vampire. And I found revelation.
Ow.
What I realized was, it ain't fangs that make us monsters. It's the self-defeating ways we think. Anywho, as the world started getting smaller, my old vampire gang tracked me down. Them being my kin, I wanted to help them see the world like I did, but they still have the same monster mindset I used to have. Good thing I'm a quick draw. But I got hooked up with this newfangled internet thing and found a vampire who's helping my kin find their way. A fella named Andromachos, supposed to be 3,000 years old.
Damn.
He invited me to come out to Europe to learn from him. I figure someone older than time has got to have the answers. I'm going on a trip, I guess. This feels like my opportunity to do some good in the world. I've been looking, and now it's time to give back. Vampires ain't monsters. Or at least, they don't have to be. And come hell or high water, I'm gonna prove it to them.
So not only are we a vampire therapist, but we're also a cowboy? Yet the cat is the fat lump. Ow.
Well, I think this is the address. Number 27, Clean Flitter Mouse Streeb.
Yeehaw!
Time of night, people stay up late here. Wait a minute, these folk are vampires. Better watch myself. Guten Abend, folks. Sprechen Sie English?
How American of him.
Ja, hello, Alta. Are you here to party with us at the hottest club?
Wait, why does she kind of look a little bit like me? Okay, so we can tell them that we are here to party, ask about the dress code, ask about Andromachos, or ask about the club. I want to know more about the club.
Well, what's so special about this club?
Immernacht is the greatest club aller Zeiten. The owner makes sure everyone has a good time.
Because she hot like you. Aw, thank you.
If anyone acts without respect, they are banned from the club forever.
That seems reasonable.
You are free to do and be whatever you like, as long as you are harming no one.
Harming no one? Do we have, like, blood dolls here, though? Like, are there people here to drink?
Und daher that they are now attracting sexy old cowboys.
Shh, Maxie, he is old enough to be your grandfather.
Oh, come on now. You're just flattering me. I'm only a couple 100 years old.
Oh mein Gott, he is so cute, Reinhard. Can I keep him?
Ask about the dress code.
I don't think what I'm wearing will fit the dress code.
The cowboy look is total sexy, but you will get a bit sweaty.
Total sexy.
I hope we will all get a bit sweaty.
Good thing we run a little on the cold side, huh?
Don't worry, mein Liebling. We make each other warm.
Ooh.
Reinhard, stop. Don't scare the American. I want to do that.
Maxi Liebchen, you're so naughty tonight.
Oh my god, she's adorable.
No, you are the naughty one.
Oh, I definitely ain't an American no more.
Svetia. Ask about Andromachos.
I'm looking for Andromachos.
You mean the club owner? Ja, satisfied we are here.
If you're lucky, he will invite us to the private party at the end of the night.
Too early in the morning to be this giggly. It's like noon for me, so it's fine for me to be this giggly. Private parties, yeah?
Well, what happens there?
I think maybe it is too kinky for Americans to hear.
Alright, I'm here to party.
I can cut loose. What kind of party is this?
The kind where we dance all night and get sexy.
Oh, we're them kind of vampires.
Ach so, there are better things to suck than blood, oder?
Awkward.
Although we have to get past the bouncer first. If we do not, I'm thinking our night is ruined.
Oh, wait a sec. There's something about what she just said. I can feel it.
He went there.
It reminds me of one of my revelations about the funny patterns in the way we vampires think. Well, let's see. One type of thinking I noticed I called hot branding. That's when we brand ourselves with names we can't get rid of.
Hot branding? Okay. When we brand ourselves with names we can't get rid of. Okay.
There's high noon mind. That's when we treat a situation like it's a do or die showdown.
Okay.
And there's saloon thinking. That's when we act either helpless or invincible, like we've just drunk a pint of moonshine.
Gotcha. Okay.
I can always check my journal if I need examples. I kept all my notes about the funny ways we vampires think in there.
Can I look at the journal now? Yes. Okay. Collected notes of Sam Walls. Private property. Do not read. Reward if found. For cowboy bloodsucker at vmail.com. I found this old notebook and figured I'd take it with me to Europe. I figure it'll help me organize my thoughts. I'll separate it into sections so I can jump to them right quick. That way, when I need to get to a particular section of my notes, all I gotta do is hop over to that section. Easy as falling off a horse, and falling off a horse is real easy. Oh man, the funny ways we think. I realized we vampires can think in funny ways sometimes, like reality's right in front of us and we just can't see it. Heck, pretty sure it's all humans who do that, not just vampires. We do think funny thinking in particular ways, so I figured I'd write them down so I don't forget them. I'll include examples so I remember how they work. High noon mind. Sometimes things can seem black and white, win or lose, famine or feast, live or die, like everything's a big showdown. It can feel like we've got only two options, winning the day or ending up with a stake in the heart. That's high noon mind. It's thinking in extremes and ignoring all the in-between. We stress ourselves out when stakes are high. Example, if I can't get the best saddle, my butt's gonna break, ain't no doubt. Either I show up ready to win the rodeo, or I'd better just not show up. The fate of the Wild West is hanging on this gunfight. I'm not sure he's a certified therapist, yeah? The cowboy, definitely not. Nah, he just showed up. Saloon thinking. A lot of us bloodsuckers have a habit either of feeling responsibility or sole control, or of feeling completely hopeless. Thing is, usually neither is true. Feeling hopeless don't mean we're powerless, and feeling untouchable don't mean we're invincible. That's saloon thinking either way. Our real capabilities are somewhere in between. Examples: with my dark powers, vampires shall dominate the mortal world. If a mortal discovers our secret, it's entirely my responsibility to deal with it, or I can't deal with the bureaucracy of international travel with my coffin, I'm stuck in the US forever. Hot branding. We vampires sometimes call ourselves awful names. I'm a failure, I'm unlikable. It's like burning ourselves with a big old branding iron. Every time we look at ourselves, we'll keep seeing those names. Hot branding is just calling ourselves names that do no good. Examples: I missed that shot, I'm such a butterfingers. Crying over a horse, you're sappy as hell. Or that fella doesn't like wearing leather, he's only a vampire wannabe. Oh my god, I love this already. This is so fun. We have client notes. When I start getting therapy clients, I'll put my notes about them here. I'll update after every session. I figure I can see how they're doing over time. That is, if Andromachus decides I'm ready for the whole therapist business. Crossing my fingers. My journal, just for writing my ramblings while I'm off on this big trip. Not my official notes. Oh no, there's a lot here. It's been about a week since I boarded the Monster of the Seas cruise ship, and I gotta say, I feel finer than frog hair. People here are eating and screwing like there's no tomorrow on account of the fact that we're in the middle of the ocean. I've drank from more necks in the last week than I can count. And since the ship's open all night, I rode a water slide for the first time in my life. Oh, sorry, unlife. People were laughing at me for saying yeehaw, but what else do you say to an experience like that? I'd be hot branding all the time. Oh, same though. No, for realsies. Gonna like psychoanalyze ourselves as we're playing. Alright, March 22nd, landed in Rotterdam the other day. In Amsterdam, now arranging transportation for my coffin. Did some vampire sightseeing. Apparently this place has been accepting of heathens like us for a long time. I went to a vampire coffee shop. They funnel in the... I think it says Stokers, from upstairs to a secret club, and everyone has themselves a grand old time. Gave me the munchies something fierce. I could go for some blood, chips, extra sodium if you please. And then April 9th, writing from Berlin today. I head to Leipzig tomorrow night, but I figure I should check things out here. They got a club here where the people are up all night doing all kinds of kinky stuff. I'm pushing a quarter of a millennium in years, but these folk could give me some lessons, and did. Met some fine folk too. Apparently they've got a nice art scene here. There's even local funding for video game development. Ain't this some kind of world? I can't believe people are still playing Star Invaders and whatnot. I like it here. I don't even have to speak German. Ain't nothing more to read yet. Alright.
I think I know which one of them funny ways.
Giving what you guys would call guidance counselor vibes, right? Alright, I think I know which of them funny ways they're thinking in though.
Hold on, compadres. You seem like the kind who can make their own fun.
I don't want to have my own fun. Immernacht is the only place to be on Friday night.
That's like the this or that thinking, right? Which one was that one? Cognitive distortions. Was that the big showdown one, maybe? Yeah.
Wait a second. She's acting like this is all or nothing. Do or die. What I call that again?
I thought it was
Maybe
saloon
I'll
thinking.
check my journal.
Do or die. I'm about to be really bad at this. I thought it was saloon thinking, or high noon mine. High noon mine, that's it.
I don't want to have...
Amigos, you're putting
There we go.
too much
Okay,
weight on
now
this
we got
thing.
it.
It's a nightclub, not a high noon showdown. The night's full of possibilities.
Reinhardt, I don't know what this means, but I like the way the sexy American talks.
You make us think that maybe it is better we haven't gotten into the club, because we are now meeting you.
Oh.
Hey, if meeting me makes your night better, I'm glad we met. I really gotta find Andromachus, though.
You have to get past the bouncer. He decides who gets in and who doesn't. And he hasn't looked our way all night.
We're gonna go psychoanalyze the bouncer and get into this club.
Maybe I'll have a little word with him. Excuse me, friend.
Oh.
I hear you're the man to talk to around these parts.
He looks like a Nosferatu.
I'm here to see Andromachus.
He's growling thoughtfully.
Have fun, mate.
He just let us in.
Hey, thanks, amigo. You have yourself a fine night, you hear?
Cowboy, what about us?
Can my sexy vampire friends come in, yeah? Dash their hopes or bring them joy? Let's bring them joy.
Yeah, sure. They're friends of mine.
Have fun, mate.
Well, come on, you two. We ain't got all night. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we made it into the club.
Dang, awful loud in here.
Come on, my liver, dance with us!
Well, you kids have fun. I'll catch up with you later. Tarnation, I'd rather hear a gopher giving birth than this. I better talk to whoever's slinging
Gross.
drinks in this here saloon. They ought to know where Andromachus is. But pardon me, ma'am.
This bar is adorable.
Look at you. We get a lot of 80s fashion in here, but not usually the 1880s.
Oh, which one sounds Australian?
What can I get you, cowboy? The special's Red Bull and vodka. You down?
I never drink Red Bull. I'm actually looking for the owner. He around tonight?
Might be. What do you say your name was?
Sam Walls, begging your pardon.
The bouncer? Maybe he is Australian.
Sam Walls, huh? I don't think I know anything about a Sam Walls. After all, I'm just a know-nothing bartender.
I know this one. This is hot branding.
From where I'm standing, I see someone with style and confidence, not just a drink machine. Don't go branding yourself like that's all you are.
Don't you go worrying about me, cowboy. The man upstairs warned me you were coming. I was just testing to see if you are who you say you are.
Oh, she's testing our guidance counseling skills.
Tell you what, let me give you something from our special reserve. I don't think you're looking for booze.
Well, thank you kindly, ma'am. I was wondering where the blood was. I met some vampires outside, so I figured this was a vampire club.
You met some gods, honey. They're here to dance and have fun.
He doesn't know the difference.
So all these people are mortals?
Oh my god.
How do you think the head vampire gets his blood? They can't wait to share it with him. It's a special experience.
You dork.
He's the only real vampire here. Well, him and Bert.
Bert?
You met him already. Bert, shuffle on over here.
The bouncer? Yeah.
This one's here to see the big guy. Show him upstairs, okay?
Have fun, mate.
Good luck up there, cowboy. Hope you find what you're looking for.
That would be great if he's like an Australian Nosferatu.
Howdy. It's Sam Walls to see you, sir. The guy who's been sending you all them V-mails.
Yes, I know who you are, Samuel Walls. You have come here because you believe you can help our king.
Best guidance counselor this side of the Mississippi. Damn straight.
The question is, are you first able to help yourself?
Oh no. Absolutely not. I can't help myself.
I don't know that I can help myself, but I'm trying my best.
Then you have already learned the most important thing I can teach.
I passed. All you need to be a therapist is self-awareness.
We all need help, Samuel. I am pleased that you have come to receive mine.
Hello.
Dang, you scared the heck out of me.
You must allow an ancient vampire his games. He will play them regardless.
That's fair. Oh, V-Daddy.
Please, sit down. What an absolute pleasure it is to meet you at last. I found your messages most intriguing.
Afraid there ain't much here in the way of intrigue. I'm just a lonesome cowboy looking for answers.
You know, I receive emails every day from vampires seeking my help. You are the very first to seek my aid in helping others. This alone makes you intriguing.
I wish I had a deep voice.
Well, dang. I think you're gonna be sorely disappointed when you get to talking to me. I'm just honored you're giving me the time of night.
Now, Davey, no saloon thinking. Yeah, see, Elf is here to psychoanalyze you.
I have unlimited time, Sam. I am pleased to share some of it with you. Our kind can be rather set in their ways. It is inspiring to see someone so young and eager to learn.
Yeah, well, I wasn't much for learning when I was alive. Just making up for lost time, I guess.
It sounds as though you have been handling your own life better than most. I was particularly intrigued by these revelations you had while walking in nature.
Oh yeah, them. Well, I give walking the credit. Nothing sorts my thoughts out better.
Ew.
After a few decades, I started seeing patterns in the way we vampires think.
Can you explain some of these patterns?
I've tried to explain them to other vampires, but it ain't never gone well. I could try, though.
Elf can do whatever they want to me. I gave her mod power, so behave. Mod fight.
See, We tend to assume certain things just because we've been believing them since we were alive.
Yeah, that's valid.
Or we decide the world's against us just because we're hungry or tired or something.
Yeah, I do that too.
And when we start tackling problems that ain't real, we ain't fixing our real problems. That make any kind of sense?
He's making sense.
Fascinating, Samuel. These revelations that you had in the woods, mortal psychologists have a term for them. They are called cognitive distortions.
Cognitive whoosy what now?
This man is not a professional.
Cognitive distortions. They are exactly as you described them. I will explain in a moment. Please, tell me about these specific revelations you had.
Alright, let's explain to him high noon mind.
Well, I noticed how we stress ourselves out by making everything a battle of do-or-die absolutes. High noon mind, I call it. Like that feeling you get right before a big shootout.
I must confess I have no experience with this feeling. I engaged in mortal combat long before the age of gunpowder.
He's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. We're gonna be up in this bitch doing cognitive behavioral theory. Let's go.
But the sentiment you describe mirrors the words of my old friend Marcus Aurelius. He used to say that the magnitude of life's challenges often turn us into our worst selves.
You mean Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor?
Of course, his name was Marcus. Marcus was a bedroom name.
Oh, a bedroom name, huh?
You mean you and the emperor were...
It was ancient Rome. Penetration was similar to a handshake. My apologies. I somehow forgot you were American. But let us discuss this high noon mind. I believe we can broaden your definition. Mortal psychologists call this phenomenon of binary thought polarized thinking, but I like to call it Nosferatu thinking.
Okay.
Nosferatu thinking?
It means you are thinking in black and white.
Oh, okay, that's a great way to think about it. When in Rome, wink wink.
I get it. That's pretty funny.
I believe it encompasses the breadth of the distortion. One is not flatly weak or strong, good or evil, smart or stupid, a success or a failure. The truth is far more complex and colorful.
I kind of like that Nosferatu thinking. That's fun. I might have to add that to my actual, like, vocabulary. Americans not knowing about penetration, I guess.
Not every high noon gunfight ends in oblivion, correct?
But yeah, that's true. Getting shot still ain't fun, but it ain't the end neither.
For some people.
A perfect example, Samuel. Now, try to catch me using Nosferatu thinking. I will give you a series of statements, and one of them will contain Nosferatu thinking. I will repeat them if you miss it. If I do not drink blood, I will surely die. Death eventually comes for us all. Mortals will always fear our kind. Did you miss my Nosferatu thinking? Let me start over. If I do not drink blood, I will surely die. Death eventually comes for us all. Mortals will always fear our kind. Did you miss my Nosferatu thinking? Let me start over. If I do not drink blood, I will surely die.
Oh, okay, I have to pick which one it is.
Is that Nosferatu thinking?
No, Samuel. In this case, I am not arguing with reality.
Oh, okay.
If we do not drink blood, we die. This is
Okay,
a fact
I
of
see how
being
it
a
works.
vampire.
So he's just stating a fact.
Let us
Okay.
continue. Death eventually comes for us all.
Well, that could also be a fact.
Mortals will always fear
All right,
our
this
kind.
one.
That's Nosferatu thinking right there. I've met mortals who knew who I was and weren't scared.
All right, I see how this works now. Got it. I thought he was gonna, like, say them all and then give us a list on the screen and I had to pick which one. I didn't realize I had to, like, pick from one of the bottom options as he was saying it. Got it. Okay.
Very good, Samuel. And even if you hadn't, to say mortals will always fear us ends any hope that they might not.
Gotcha.
Always is such a terminal word, is it not? Would you like to discuss more of your revelations with me?
Yeah. How about saloon thinking?
I realize that as vampires, we can get the feeling of the power that comes with immortality and strength, but then we get hopeless and aimless over time. It's kind of like the fella you see in the saloon at the bottom of a bottle of whiskey. Either he thinks he can fight everyone, or he's crying into them last drops because he thinks life's hopeless. It's saloon thinking. Two extremes that probably ain't true.
A fascinating observation, Samuel. Your saloon thinking was described in my time as the battle between hubris and nemesis, the twin excesses of arrogance and self-pity.
Oh man, it made me wish I'd gotten some schooling. Maybe I would have
Same.
figured this stuff out earlier.
You live forever, my friend. There is no rush. What you have identified is a phenomenon where individuals perceive either an illusion of control or a lack of control. Mortal psychologists call this phenomenon you have described a control fallacy. Rarely do we have complete power over our situations or no power at all. But we create this illusion that stops us from attempting to change our perceived situations.
Okay, got
Yeah,
it.
you're right about that. I used to think I'd never get away from my gang. And maybe that's what made me stick with them for so long.
Yes, you see how cognitive distortions keep us from facing reality, whatever that reality may be. Of course, I am so old and powerful that I am always in control.
Oh, okay, sure. Notice your bottom thing keeps changing with the explanations. Yeah, I'm actually waiting for control fallacy to turn into some kind of weird vampire term. Like, I'm waiting for it. What's he gonna come up with? Control fallacy.
You're testing me, ain't you? Control fallacy right there.
Well done, Samuel. I am indeed very powerful. The cosmos holds no awareness of Andromachos. Of course, as you expertly pointed out with your analogy about the man at the bottom of a whiskey bottle, a control fallacy can be positive or negative. Listen to my next few statements and try to find a control fallacy. Simply let me continue if you do not detect one.
Gotcha.
The sun will eventually burn out. I will roam a cold, dead earth, and there is little I can do about it.
Well, that sounds like one of them control fallacies. With all eternity, heck, I think you could do something to save the sun.
I applaud your optimism and ambition, Samuel, but some things we must be prepared to accept, and the death of the sun is one of them. But let us continue.
Well, I don't have to worry about the death of the sun in my time.
My kitty cat died. I shall be lonely forever.
False.
I'm sorry about your sweet kitty, but you can always pick up a new one. Or there's lots of them just waiting for a loving home, so you don't need to be lonely.
It was just an example, Samuel. Well spotted. But I do speak from experience. I felt this way once when a pharaoh I was dating had our cat mummified.
Oh.
I went into a murderous depression that nearly decimated the continent. But I had the power to help myself all along by adopting a new friend in need of a home.
I can understand that. I too would probably decimate an entire continent if Edie died.
Oh, dang, don't let me get on your bad side.
I doubt you shall see it, Samuel. Did you have more revelations to tell me about?
Yes, we have hot branding now.
See, I used to be in a gang. They were my whole existence. If you asked me who I was, I would have said, I'm a murdering bastard. Once I got away, I realized how small-minded that was. I was Sam before I was a murdering bastard, but that's how I was choosing to brand myself. My old gang's still around, and they're still branding themselves like that. They can't see themselves as anything but killers.
Very astute, Samuel. I favor the clinical term, however, which is labeling.
Yeah, but hot branding sounded cooler.
You correctly discovered that labeling is a reductive act. When we call ourselves names, even if we find them accurate, we create prophecies we are doomed to fulfill. For millennia, I thought of myself as a killer. It was not untrue that killing was how I made my way in the world. I was an unstoppable warrior and assassin. But with this label, I limited myself for ages. I did not only kill people, I also killed potential aspirations I might have had.
Yeah, hot branding is way better.
See whether you can catch me doing some labeling in my next few statements. I am so old, I am ancient.
Let's
Call
see the
me
other ones.
whatever you like, but don't call me late for dinner. How shall I describe myself? Yes, I am a mass murderer. It seems you have missed my label.
Yeah, read them all.
Because I am so old, I am...
Oh, come on. I know you've been kicking around a long time, but don't go labeling yourself as ancient.
But according to definition, I am ancient. It is not a
Okay,
label,
but
a
according to
specific
definition, you
classification
might
of
also
age.
be a mass murderer. I would let this guy kill me. Honestly, fair. Yeah, I dig the cowboy terms for some of these. I do too. I do like Nosferatu
You
thinking
look
though.
pretty good for being ancient, then.
The secret is moisturizer. But let us continue.
I second that.
Call me whatever you like, but don't call me late for dinner.
No, it's
How
not
shall
that
I
one.
describe myself? Ah, yes, I am a mass murderer.
Maybe you are. I don't know.
Well, that's about as clear a labeling as it gets. Yeah, we vampires tend to do a lot of killing, but reducing ourselves to killers ain't doing us any favors.
Okay, but if he is a mass murderer, he's a mass murderer.
Excellent, Samuel. You are correct. Labels can be cages that we lock ourselves in. I was a mere murderer for most of my existence because that is how I labeled myself.
Yeah, I did the same thing. Sam Walls, murderer, reprobate.
He
good
is
for
what
nothing.
he is. Accurate.
Those are not how I would describe the Sam Walls I see before me. Did you have more revelations to tell me about?
I think that's all of them. Or at least the ones that were the most obvious to me.
That you recognize the concept of cognitive distortions at all is most impressive, Samuel. What took me nearly 3 millennia to understand took you nearly 2 centuries.
Oh, come on, you're just flattering me. I'm just a dope stumbling his way through one life.
Hey, isn't this labeling?
Are you now? Tell me, Samuel, what kind of cognitive distortion are you exhibiting when you call yourself a dope?
Yeah, I'm doing some labeling. I gotta watch myself, huh?
As long as we retain any humanity, we will have cognitive distortions. What we are aiming for is not to become perfect beings, but to understand and accept ourselves. As long as we can recognize cognitive distortions, we can address our real challenges. One cannot drink blood from a straw man, after all.
What kind of straw is it? Do you mean straw like hay or straw like a drinking straw? Because I'll challenge you on that one.
I ain't never heard that one before, but I like it.
If it helps solidify the concept in your mind, then I am well satisfied. I know you came to learn from me, so I will do my best to honor your good intentions. Let us ensure that you understand the concepts of labeling, control fallacies, and Nosferatu thinking.
I retract my statement of the too early to be giggling. Now it's too early to be therapized. See, it's always a good time for giggling, though.
I will give you a series of statements, and each one will contain a cognitive distortion for you to identify. I will begin. If I invite over my vampire friends, I know I'm going to have to deal with guano all over the place when they turn into bats at the end of the night.
What do we think that one is? It's not labeling, obviously. If I invite over my vampire friends, I know I'm gonna have to deal with guano all over the place when they turn into bats at the end of the night. Are we thinking control fallacy with this one? I think for me, Nosferatu thinking, which is the black and white way of thinking, and the control fallacy are going to be a little bit difficult to differentiate. Because they are both very this or that.
Well, there's a control fallacy, sir. You're acting like you've got no control, but you could lay down some ground rules for guests, or some newspaper.
Probably some newspaper.
Or express concern to my friends that they have not been toilet trained. Very good, Samuel. Let me try another. I am Andromachus, the ancient darkness, the scourge of the Mediterranean, the mortal's bane.
That goes hard, but it's labeling.
Well, that's definitely some intense labeling. Those are some hard names to get over.
You are not wrong. Those names followed me for millennia. It was most stifling. Let me try another then.
Labeling me daddy.
If my club's revenues do not significantly increase, I will end up living on the street.
Black or white thinking? Or control fallacy? Black and white thinking or control fallacy? I'm thinking Nosferatu thinking.
There's got to be Nosferatu thinking. There's a huge space
Wow.
between making a ton of profit.
Ah,
living on
thank
the
you,
street.
Web. I got it cut yesterday, and my hairdresser did like an adorable job making it like all flippy and stuff. Super cute. Thank you. Hi, T-Rex. Thanks so much for stopping by. First time here. Welcome.
Indeed, you are correct. I run my club at a considerable loss, but 3,000 years of banking interest means that money is not really an object to me anyway.
Oh, that must be nice there.
Samuel, now I am not only intrigued by you, but also impressed. I would very much like to teach you my ways. But I must demand something of you first.
I didn't realize you streamed. Sorry for not stopping by sooner. No problem. I only stream like once a week for funsies. I appreciate you stopping by, though.
Anything. I'm here to learn.
You must receive therapy yourself. I will not have you seeing clients without a commitment to your own mental health.
Okay, that's valid.
Oh, now, hold on just a minute. I don't know that I need therapy. I'm feeling pretty good about myself these days.
Samuel, we all need therapy to live in this world. You have been speaking in cognitive distortions since the moment you walked into my office.
I don't know. I feel like there's something there to it, to you saying that we all need therapy to live in this world, but sure.
I have. I didn't even notice.
They are most insidious, but I am here to help you identify and challenge them. You have walked alone for too long, Samuel. Allow me to share my experience with you.
Well, all right, if you say so. I appreciate your taking the time to work on this, old cowpoke.
Vamp Daddy preach, we need therapy. Elf down bad.
We have all the time in the world, Samuel. But for now, you must be eager for something fresh. Please, dance, drink your fill. We will begin tomorrow.
Okay, then. Well, sir, it's been an honor.
Yeah, party time.
You don't have to call me sir, you know.
Don't we?
All right, then, Andromachos.
No, we can call him sir. Get the Davy spray. Calm down, boy. Yes, Vamp Daddy preach, we need therapy. Oh, it was you.
Andromachos.
Hey, Andromachos.
Just call me Andy.
Oh.
All right, Andy. I'll see you tomorrow, then.
My colors are like different on OBS than they are on Twitch. So you and Elf keep switching colors depending on which screen I'm looking at.
Sweating, blood pumping. I am thirsty. There ain't no power on this earth that'll get me on a dance floor. Maybe I'll see if the bartender's got anything for me.
If it isn't Clint Eastwood again. How'd it go, cowboy?
Clint Eastwood.
Seems I'll be sticking around. Guess I better get used to things around here.
Good to hear. About time someone helped Andy with his work. Seems you vampires have a lot of problems to fix. Name's Crimson, by the way.
Sir Andy. I don't like it.
Fine meeting you, Crimson. How do you know so much about what Andy's doing?
Pillow talk. I'm his blood partner.
Aw.
No shit. How's a mortal get hooked up with an ancient vampire?
I'm a rock climber. I stumbled into one of his lairs in Madagascar, found a cave while climbing a mountain, and there he was, naked in a hot tub.
Dang. Must have been a sight.
You ain't kidding, cowboy. Didn't expect a luxury apartment with a gorgeous naked vampire inside of a mountain. We hit it off, and he asked me to come back here with him. I like an adventure, so I said, what the hell? I'll date the gorgeous Dracula.
You go, girl.
But what are you doing talking to me, cowboy? The blood's running hot on the dance floor, and these kids don't mind a little biting.
Ain't no way I'm dancing. There's gotta be a better way to get something fresh to drink.
Reinhard, look.
Oh, these two again.
Sexy old guy again.
You should buy us a drink, old guy. You'll probably get lucky. Actually, you'll definitely get lucky.
Oh, they're a treat.
Well, pleasures of the flesh ain't exactly what I'm after tonight.
That's because you haven't experienced these pleasures with us yet. Buy us a drink and you will discover great satisfaction by uns.
Oh, I could tell them they're not my type. Tell them alcohol is bad for them. Tell them I don't have the money, or tell them they can support themselves. These are all terrible. I'll tell them I'm broke.
I ain't buying you a drink. All I got are good old-fashioned dollars.
I like American money. All we have on our money are buildings. You have all the sexy old men.
All right, I'll buy it. Which of them old men are sexy?
I like Hamilton. His posture is just so powerful.
Oh my god. I love their confidence. I do too. They're so fun. She is very confident. We should all aim to be so confident. If I looked like Faye in full goth gear, I'd be confident too. Alright. He likes Hamilton.
There is a dollar coin that has Eisenhower's face on it.
Oh, you are right. Eisenhower is, how do you Americans say, a snack?
Is snack? Not what I would call Eisenhower, but okay.
I get it. You like older men. Look, kids, you seem like nice enough folks, but I wasn't planning on buying drinks tonight.
Stop teasing the cowboy, Kinder. They're just messing with you. Drinks are free here.
Ah!
Dang, really? Ain't never been to a saloon with free hooch.
No wonder he's not making money off his club.
Call it a drink exchange.
Oh.
Huh. So, everyone here knows they might be sharing blood?
Only as long as there's consent. We like to create a safe environment here.
I like that.
Why don't you take Reinhard and Maxie here back to the kink room?
Wait, kink room?
Mm-hmm. You're not in Kansas anymore, cowboy. We are not afraid of sex here.
I'm from Missouri, but point taken.
Nobody has to do anything they don't want to do in there. Just have fun and drink your fill, handsome. I'm sure I'll
Well
see
then.
plenty of you.
Hey, I read all of the labels before we started, and there's a content warning at the bottom of my UI.
Maxie, Reinhard, this is one of our special customers.
Ach so, ein Vampir. I'm thinking we are all getting lucky then.
My neck scrubs with anticipation.
Dang. Guess I'm going to a kink room then. Thanks, Crimson.
Edie, hush your little face.
I knew a man who wore this much leather couldn't be boring.
Yeah, well, you got me pegged.
Oh, don't say that unless you want to be pegged.
Is that what we are doing now? Give me the document and I will sign myself up for it.
Oh, he's throbbing too by the sound of it, right?
Well, I really ain't in Missouri no more. Look, I'm more into biting.
Oh, your teeth look perfect. Are you going to bite me with those?
That's the plan. Who's going first?
Oh, me.
Well, step right on up.
Sam is so vanilla.
Remember, Sammy boy, just stick the tips of them fangs into the blue veins and we'll all have a nice time.
Oh shit. Oh god. Do I have to aim it?
Oh, das hat
Oh, that was
sich
scary.
gut angefühlt.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Just the tips.
Is it my turn yet?
Well, sure thing. Come on over.
Oh, her collar's in the way. Munch.
Oh, Reinhard. The
Drank
hot
fresh
old
blood for the first
vampire
time.
wore me
Achievement.
out.
It's a hot old vampire.
Me too, Maxie. I feel as though I have set up a mail server.
Reinhard, mein Sucke Fledermaus. Ich bin so müde, 6 Uhr so sein.
What?
I will get us a taxi cab, Liebchen. Und du, cowboy? Next time we will talk about that thing you mentioned earlier.
Pegging?
Oh, yeah, sure thing, fella. Maybe I can tell you some Eisenhower stories.
I don't think that's what he was
Now that I've
talking
had
about.
something to drink, I should probably get to my coffin.
Samuel, wait a moment. I see you got your fill. Are you heading out?
That looked way too stressful. Oh my god.
Yeah, I figure I could use some shut-eye. I locked up my coffin over at the storage center.
Storage center. Please, you can use my guest coffin. I insist. You must be well rested for the challenges ahead.
You can use a guest coffin. You don't have to sleep with, like, your own grave dirt.
Guess I got a big night tomorrow, huh? I should get a good day's sleep.
Wonderful. Please, follow me.
Well, dang. This is mighty plush. Guess it's one of them smart coffins.
Oh, that's funny. It has, like, a TV in it.
Let's see what's on TV.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, I remember this movie. We were so proud to finally get some representation.
We can use his ghost coffin.
Not sure I should stay up watching movies, though. Well, ain't much else to do in here. I think it's about time I hit the hay. Hope I'm cut out for all this.
Being a cowboy is so goofy.
Samuel, good evening. I hope you slept well.
Like the dead, as they say.
I was hoping to save you some breakfast, but I've already sent them on their way.
Wow, how inconsiderate.
Oh, that's all right. I'm still pretty full from last night.
You did have a double.
Them goth types were practically throwing themselves at me.
Called out.
I am not surprised. Perhaps I should be concerned that some of my guests will follow you home.
Well, gosh, if I still had mortal circulation, I'd be blushing.
Why are you so embarrassed, Samuel?
Ah, hell. Guess we should just save it for therapy, huh? We gonna get started now?
If you like.
Why not? I'm eager to get going. Let loose, Doc.
Very well. Let's start with the first question any therapist asks then. What brought you to me? Why is becoming a therapist so important to you?
Well, gosh, I remember what it was like. Being all angry, hungry, and scared all the time. It ain't no way to live. When I see vampires acting the way I used to, I just need to show them there's more to unlife.
I wish I was a cowboy vampire now. I like them goth types. Right? And clearly the vampires like the goths like the cowboy vampires.
And why
All
is
works
that
out.
to you?
You, of all people, know how lost our kind can be. Preying on the weak, dating mortal high schoolers.
Maybe don't date mortal high schoolers.
I've got to make them see their potential. That's what I'm here for. I know it.
Was that a Twilight reference?
That is a lot of responsibility to place on yourself.
You got a funny look in your eye. Am I doing one of them distortion things?
You are most perceptive. Yes. Perhaps you can tell me what it is. When you say you are here to make vampires see the world differently, in what way are you distorting reality?
Control fallacy?
Well, I guess that's a control fallacy, right? I can't assume I'll be able to help other vampires the way I was helped.
Yeah, I think it's a Twilight dig.
Very good, Samuel. Control fallacies are hard to avoid when one feels strongly about something.
It's amazingly funny, but also gross. Yeah.
Your fate is not to transform every vampire you ever meet, even those who are your clients. You will do what you can do, and that is enough.
Oh, wonderful words, Andromachos.
But I am eager to learn how you developed this desire to help our kin find a different way of thinking.
Well, like I told you when I first V-mailed you, I was a real nasty son of a bitch when I first became a vampire. When I look back and see what a no-account piece of shit I was, I ain't nothing but embarrassed. It all seems pretty stupid to me now. Here we are living forever and all we can do is kill? That's the dumbest thing I ever did here.
Okay, valid. Like, if I was a vampire, I would just, like, learn new crafts and skills forever.
I am going to stop you for a moment. Stupid, no-account piece of shit, nasty son of a bitch, dumbest thing. Do you hear the way you are talking about yourself?
With respect, sir, I earned all them names. I killed women and children. Half the ghost towns out west are my doing. I didn't think of nobody but myself.
That sounds like hot branding or labeling.
Pretend you are my therapist. If I sat here and called myself a no-account piece of shit, what would you tell me?
Yeah, learn every language, every instrument. Exactly. Like, I wouldn't be like, I've got to go on a murder spree because I'm a vampire. No, I would learn all the things. Labeling.
I'd say you were doing some labeling. And I guess I'd tell you to look at yourself a little more kindly.
Extend the same compassion to yourself then, Samuel. How are you to move on from being a nasty son of a bitch if you are labeling yourself? If you wish to be a guide to other vampires, you must start with compassion for them and for yourself. So, now that you've gotten all that horrible name-calling out of the way, please tell me, how did you find your sense of purpose?
I would be a true artisan, learn every creative thing I desire, right? Like, chainmail, silversmithing, metalsmithing, leatherworking, like, knitting, all of it, everything. I'd want to learn everything.
Well, I was on the run, you see. The Wild West was ending and the Pinkertons were starting to get the better of my gang. I went into hiding and found a strange group of folks out in the country. They knew I was an outlaw right away, but they didn't judge me for it.
This is not a simp on Elf Stream, mister. Yeah.
They didn't even care that I was a vampire. They welcomed me like a friend, even shared their blood with me. They taught me how to appreciate the beauty of the night, and I started seeing things I'd never noticed before. They taught me my letters, philosophy, and how to question things instead of being scared of them. I think about them every day of my own life. They somehow freed themselves of all the judgments of the time and were better off for it.
These must have been the 19th century American transcendentalists, yes?
Yes, sir. I'm glad I died when I did, because their like just don't exist no more. Once my community died out, I started walking. That was something else they taught me how to do. There ain't nothing like having a walk and a think. I walked in nature for about 90 years and just took in all the grace and beauty of my country.
Imagine being able to just walk, like do nature walks and hiking for 90 years. That would be insane.
I guess I was kind of selfish, though. I should have been helping other vampires the way the Transcendentalists helped me.
That seems like maybe control fallacy?
Why?
Why waste 90 years walking when I should have been helping others? Seems pretty obvious to me. I could have done a lot of good in that time.
It could be Nosferatu thinking, though, because it's kind of this or that. Like, I could walk for 90 years, or I could help people instead.
But your should turns that which you could find fulfilling into a duty. You create an extrinsic motivator.
You were hot branding? You make art, so you are artisan? Douche, turn the tables on me. You guys are now psychoanalyzing each other in chat.
Truth statements are another cognitive distortion.
Oh.
Something created by your own mind. Nature asks almost nothing of you.
We got a new term. We got should statements.
Even if your should comes from a place of good, it creates undue pressure.
I feel like I'm really bad about this one, personally.
And what do we do once we are pressured? We resent the shoulds. We procrastinate. And as you know, we have a lot of time to procrastinate.
He's got me there.
You got that right. Why do today what you could do next century?
I love this game, not gonna lie, right? This is great.
Exactly. Should statements remove the intrinsic joy from that which you find fulfilling?
Hold on, though. Ain't there some things we really should do?
Of course, there are things we must do, but nature herself tells us what they are. We invent the rest. Here, let me give you an exercise. Listen closely. See whether you can find the should statement that is a distortion. I should go to the vampire dentist. You know what they say. If you have bad fangs, you get bad blood.
I should also go to the vampire dentist.
That's the one. No one should go to a dentist.
Uh.
God damn it.
That is not true. We have to go to the dentist. Our teeth are important to us.
Ah, you son of a bitch.
How long has it been since you've seen a dentist, Samuel?
No, not since the Civil War, and I'd rather keep it that way.
Relatable.
We'll talk about that in another session. Let's try again. I should drink blood today. I should take my blood partner Crimson out on a date.
I mean, maybe.
I should be wary of sexually transmitted diseases.
I mean, definitely.
Did you miss my should statement? Let's try again. I should go to the vampire dentist. You know what they say. If you have bad fangs, you get bad blood.
All right, well, you said it wasn't
I
that
should
one.
drink blood today.
You should drink blood today because it's how you live.
I should take my blood partner Crimson out on a date.
I guess this is the one.
Saying you should take Crimson out on a date is a should statement. You've turned something you want to do into something you have to do.
Okay.
That's right, Samuel. You know, I couldn't be more pleased with you. Your time in nature was clearly well spent.
Well, thanks, I suppose. But if you don't mind my saying so, I hope you're treating that mortal lady right.
Agree.
Thank you. Please, ask her yourself.
Maybe you should take her out on a date.
I imagine she would share her blood with you. You look like her type.
Hold on. I've only been in Europe for a couple of days. I ain't gonna go after my teacher's girlfriend.
She does what she wishes, and that is why I chose her as my blood partner. Samuel, even if it beats no longer, you have a good heart. I think you will be an excellent therapist.
So far, that good heart of mine hasn't amounted to much, but I'm willing to give it my best shot.
Bro, quit talking down on yourself.
You are uncomfortable with praise, aren't you, Samuel? Every time I say something positive, you find a way to negate it.
Yeah.
I just don't think I should be doing any bragging. I spent my first 50 years killing, spent the next 90 walking in the woods. I've tried to walk a better path since then, but I ain't no saint, Auntie.
I did not say you were. Having met several so-called saints, I can attest that none of them were either.
Ha!
I understand your discomfort, Sam. I, too, have done terrible things that I cannot erase. But is erasing the good I have done worthwhile?
Well, I guess when you put it like that, it sounds kind of silly.
It's another cognitive distortion.
Another
What
one.
mortal psychologists call disqualifying the positive. I understand that the actions of your past are difficult to bear, but what we are here to do is accept reality, with both its positive and negative aspects.
Oh, he gave us another term.
I am not saying that you should disqualify your negative actions, but merely note when you disqualify the positive ones.
Yeah, that's valid.
Let us try an exercise. See whether you can challenge me when I disqualify my positive deeds. I am Andromachos, one of the most powerful vampires alive. We
Labeling.
are focusing only on disqualifying
He's
the
like,
positive for now,
don't go
Sam.
there.
Please pay attention. I am Andromachos, one of the most powerful. Before I became the vampire I am now, I did exceptionally terrible things.
Well, that's the one. Of course he done plenty of good stuff too.
But I wasn't talking about
Oh,
positive things.
he's so
I have done,
picky.
Samuel. Let us continue. I have defiled the innocent. I have killed countless people.
Are you telling me, like
The
stating?
good I now do pales in comparison to the evil I have done.
That's the one. You're literally disqualifying the positive by comparing it to the evil stuff you done.
Well done, Samuel. I believe the recognition of this distortion will serve you well when you start to see clients tomorrow.
We're starting to see clients tomorrow. We're definitely not certified for that, sir.
Whoa, tomorrow? I only just started learning these here cognitive distortion things.
I will, of course, be with you. You needn't worry. I can sense your instincts and will help you.
Well, that's good.
But tomorrow, I just don't feel ready yet.
My friend, we are never truly ready. But if it would ease your concerns, we can practice with further examples. Would that be
Luckily, you have a
helpful?
chat full of weirdos to help, right? We have an entire clinical team here to assess all of your psychoanalyzing needs. I'm ready as I'll ever be. YOLO!
I think I'm good.
All right, Samuel. You must be hungry now. I suggest you get a liter inside you. We have a big night tomorrow.
How much is a liter?
Just get enough to drink, Sam. We will not be able to work if you are hungry or tired.
Labeling.
Now, please excuse me. I do have a date with Crimson tonight. I suspect I shall not return until nearly morning.
Oh, yeah, of course. I hope you have a nice night out, Mr. Andy.
You as well, Samuel. Rest in peace.
I think that's where I'm getting thrown off, is I'm like, okay, but if you're stating a fact, is it really labeling? Like, if this is a fact, like, what? Too autistic for this.
Ah, Samuel, glad to see you are awake. Your first client is on his way.
What, already? Look, Mr. Andy, sir, are you sure I'm ready for this? These are people's brains I'm messing with.
Fear not, my friend. You are a powerful vampire in your own right. To be so young and have so much empathy is quite a gift. All you need to do is listen, and I know the truth will reveal itself to you.
Shucks, wish I had your confidence.
Well, to a limited extent, I can see the future.
Oh.
If you are about to misinterpret a client's distortions, I will set you back on the right path.
You can see the future.
It's not that impressive, really. You start to see the patterns after 1,000 years or so.
Oh, gotcha. He's disqualifying the positive.
Well, dang. If seeing the future ain't impressive, that's gotta be a distortion. Disqualifying the positive, it's gotta be.
You barely require my aid as it is.
He did the thing. Why is... Or maybe it's letting the fact define our entire being. Yeah, I guess.
If you need guidance, I will provide it to you telepathically. Don't think about it too much. When you are 3,000, such things will cease to impress you.
There's like a fruit fly in here and it's driving me nuts. Like one little it'd be a fruit fly and I don't know where it's going. Or I'd squish it.
Let us look at your first client's case file.
Dr. Drain, huh? You
Dr.
got no first
Drain.
name?
1,000-year neuro Neurodivergent skill evolved into future sight? No, for real though. Alright, Dr. Drain. He ain't got no first name. He's 430. He's a male. His origin is English. Intake information. Dr. Drain is a class of 1614 graduate of the Royal College of Physicians. He's been studying the nature of blood for the last several centuries. Became a vampire after a post-mortem blood transfusion experiment. Now runs a global pharmaceutical research company. Is now concerned that he has developed an addiction to a drug of his own formulation. Suggestion. Detected strong irritability on the phone. Investigate Drain's drinking and sleeping habits. Oh boy.
Many vampires go by one name. Families and titles seem to become more abstract after a certain age.
Huh. So is it funny that he kept the title?
Indeed, you catch on quickly, despite your habit of disqualifying the positive.
Oh, is it bad that he's labeling himself a doctor?
I will let you work now. I shall be meditating in my coffin, but I will sense when you need my help.
But I...
Samuel, I know you can handle this. Be yourself, and all will be well.
Oh god, bat.
Satan bless it all, I hate flying. Hey there.
Oh, he's crabby.
God's blood, what on earth are you?
Cowboy.
My name's Sam. I'm the new therapist. Make yourself comfortable, Dr. Drain. And American as well. Good God. It's not enough for you lot to take over the world of the living. Even the halls of the dead aren't safe from you.
He's out of line, but he's right.
Oh well. I suppose your lot are all into this touchy-feely stuff, aren't you? And ignorance, even American ignorance, is bliss, I suppose. Oh, sweet ignorance, how I do wish I knew thee.
I'm not disagreeing with him.
Damn it, how am I gonna work with this fella? I gotta ask AA.
Are you alright, Samuel?
No. My client's mean.
You gave me this fella as my first client?
Why not? He is clearly hiding very little about his state of mind.
How am I supposed to help him when he already sees me as the bad guy?
Use your instincts, Samuel. Think about how you have felt in your darkest hours. What does this poor vampire want?
He wants to leave. He wants a reality check, or he wants to complain. I feel like he wants to complain. What do we think? He's super crabby and crotchety, and I feel like when I'm in a super crabby, crotchety mood, I just want to complain. Elf thinks it's a reality check. Think he wants a reality check? Alright, we'll go with it.
I think he needs a dang reality check, charging at me like an undersexed bull.
If you tried to give an undersexed bull a reality check, that would not change the fact that it is undersexed.
He said that's not what he's looking for.
How did the Transcendentalists approach you when you were a wilder man, Samuel?
Yeah, I get it. I'm sure this fella's come here with problems. I can't be surprised when they show up.
I think he wants to complain.
I think he just wants to complain.
Perceptive, Samuel. He can hardly stop himself, can he?
Relatable.
So, what? I just let him complain?
Of course. Just give him a starting point to let it all out. It will make him feel better.
Complaining makes me feel better.
Well, if you say so.
He wants to complain. I've seen C do it. See, Davey knows what's up. Just let me bitch it out. I'll be fine.
Don't worry, Samuel. You are doing wonderfully. I will release your time now.
Well, are you just going to sit there?
Maybe.
I was just gonna ask how your trip here was. My trip? My trip was bloody wonderful. Until my familiar got a flat tire and I had to fly 30 kilometers here as a bat.
And I'm the more aggressive approach. Australian. That's because everything there wants to kill you. You have to be more aggressive.
I hate being a bat and I hate flying. Do you know an owl tried to eat me?
Alright, that sounds awful.
Me, a creature that has lived for centuries, treated like common prey. I'm surprised he was even interested. You should see what an ugly little beastie I am when I transform. All I could do was screech and squeak until he went away. Well, I suppose I'm alive, in a manner of speaking anyway. You all right there, pal? Yes, I'm fine. Well, I'm not, of course. I wouldn't be here otherwise. But for the sake of conversational integrity, fine. I take it you read my case file and know why I'm here.
I like how some of these are just blatantly wrong. He was going through a breakup. His horse died. The correct answer is he has an addiction. Creed acts like a gator, yet is a fettuccine. Oh, is he getting snappy? He's so darn cute, a little wriggly noodle.
You're here for an addiction problem. Yes. Embarrassing, isn't it? What's to be embarrassed about? I remember when Ulysses S. Grant was president. Didn't seem to bother him. Oh, well, of course. How wonderful it is that I share the mental failings of people who only live a single lifetime. Hey, come on now. There's a part of us that's still mortal. Can't help that, just like we can't help being dead. So I'm discovering. Look, I just need some tips and I'll be on my way. Just give me all the tricks. Whatever one does to make addictions go away. Tips? Let me think.
So snappy, got me 4 times but couldn't break skin. Oh, his teeth are too little. He doesn't know. Suggest a milder addiction. Suggest something tasty. Suggest a hug. Unfortunately, there's no easy solution.
Partner, there ain't no tips that'll magically cure you. But I'm here to listen. You know, I never in my life thought anyone would ever call me partner. Like partner, but not with a T.
Partner. He's just a little guy, just a little noodle.
And I know how you English love your tea. Thank goodness we can still process tea. We cannot live on blood alone.
If you're a vampire, you can still drink tea?
I appreciate the concern, though. I must admit, I rather saw myself above this whole addiction thing. Tell you what, let's not worry about being above or below anything. You're here now, so let's see what we can do. What exactly are you addicted to? It's a form of plasma, a catalytic compound of my own design, a necessary component of my own scientific goals. You're losing me. Well, let me try to make it simple. I have been able to replicate and even alter the molecular patterns that vampiric erythrocyte surface receptors receive. Our unique physiology gives us an increased ligand affinity, which is how we are able to process blood the way that we do. I can extend this receptivity and thus achieve my true goal: synthetic blood, freedom from the hunger that plagues us, and hope for all humanity.
See, is sold? I was already sold. Pfft, you don't have to sell me any further.
Well, dang, that sounds pretty impressive, Doc. Well, it doesn't work without a vampiric catalyst, and that is the plasma I am addicted to. Pathetic, isn't it? I have spent 400 years trying to steal the secret of blood, only to be engulfed by it, like Prometheus walking into a fireplace. Pathetic? Doc, where the heck would you get a word like that? You've come up with a synthetic blood. Man, I can barely get my spurs on some mornings. Maybe you had a setback or two, but give yourself a little credit, compadre. Credit? For wasting 400 years? Practically speaking, I'm in the same place as I was back when King James was in power. Only now I have a drug problem. Perhaps I must face facts. My professor was right. Nothing we ever do will make a damned bit of difference.
Samuel, listen to him. Do you recognize his patterns of thought?
Yeah, he's disqualifying the positive, and also I think he's got control fallacy.
There's some distortions in there, ain't there?
I knew you would sense them. Invite him to talk more about this failure of his.
I'll do my best. Now hold on just a minute there, cowpoke. I've heard you talk a lot about failure. But it sure sounds to me like you ain't thinking clearly if you think you're a failure. I am a realist, that's all. Look at me. 400 years of study and still dabbling with leukocytes.
Disqualifying the positive.
I don't know many people who would call working with leukocytes dabbling. I mean, I gotta admit, I have no earthly clue what you're talking about. So unless you made up all them science terms, I think you might be doing more than playing with a chemistry set. Perhaps, but if we consider all there is to know about blood, I know precious little. But you know something. Yes, I concede I might know something about blood. I would hope so after 400 years. You still got more knowledge about blood than most, whether it's been 4 years or 400 years, amigo. Let's get back to what you were saying, though. I'm saying I am surely the oldest, most well-studied doctor in the world. I should have achieved more than this.
This sounds like a should statement.
Well, who said you should have achieved more? Isn't it obvious? I should have something to show for 400 years of work. And what happens if you don't? Absolutely nothing at all. Well, that's my point.
It's a good point.
That is not as encouraging as you think it is. Ain't meant to be encouraging, just showing you a little reality. Well, it's all my fault, really. I cannot seem to motivate my scientists to reach the necessary level of dedication. It's always shocking to me how little urgency mortals have around death.
This one might be control fallacy. It's all my fault, really. I cannot seem to motivate my scientists to reach the necessary level of dedication. Control fallacy? Yeah, you're feeling... Okay.
So it's all your fault.
Yep.
You haven't come up with the perfect synthetic blood. It can't be anyone else's fault. Only I have the skill, the knowledge, and the experience. Pardon me for saying so, Doc, but it sounds like what you're doing is pretty dang complicated. Sounds to me like you're some kind of god if you expect control over life itself. Please, I am a scientist, not a spiritualist. It is not control I seek, but understanding. And are you ever gonna have perfect understanding? No, of course not. I'm not a wizard. So how about not putting saving the world on one person, Doc? That is a simplification, but I take your point. As I was saying, now that I'm addicted to my own drug, I have joined the ranks of mortal celebrities in my utter irrelevance.
I don't think it's labeling. I feel like he's disqualifying his positive again. What do you think on this one? Or it could be black and white thinking. Now that I'm addicted to my own drug, I've joined the ranks of mortal celebrities in my utter irrelevance. Or is he labeling himself irrelevant? Thinking black and white thinking too.
That's a pretty dark read
Yeah.
on things. You know, lots of folks get over their addictions. Yes, but not me.
Yet.
I'm trying to tell you that even if you are addicted, that ain't the end, hermano. You got a lot of life and opportunity left in you. If you can call this life. Now hold on there, that's what I call Nosferatu thinking, straight from the coffin. Life ain't all black and white. It's got its shades of gray too, you know. Well played, cowpoke. Perhaps I am being a little dramatic. Yes, I'm aware that in reality progress has been made, enough to get to this point. But I didn't come here to ask for a pat on the back and to be told I'm a good boy.
Didn't you?
That ain't my department, but I hear they do some of that stuff downstairs.
Oh!
Yes, we all know very well that the Continentals are more sexually liberated than we are. But as I say, I don't want all this therapy stuff. I just want to stop using this
I
damn
came here
drug.
for that. Right?
So what's so good about this stuff anyway? Why do you like it? I'm not certain. I don't remember what happens after I take it, but I wake up feeling, how do I put this, alive. Well, that don't sound so bad. A good nap can make me feel like a new man. I'm not talking about feeling refreshed. I mean I feel alive. As if I'm someone else, someone who lives. And I wake up and find, oh gracious me, I am not depressed. You mean to tell me that you're going to sleep depressed every night? Oh, nothing of the sort. Oh well, I'm glad to hear that. You are assuming that I can simply go to sleep and my global scientific enterprise will run itself. Oh wait just a gosh darn minute, you're telling me you don't sleep?
It did say he had sleep problems, or to ask about his sleep problems on the sheet we were given.
Yes, it's not as though we can get much deader already, and I have work to do. So you're not sleeping, and you're always depressed. I think we're starting to get somewhere. Oh, don't be such a bumpkin. If you are a sapient individual, aware of the world around you, depression is the only sensible reaction. It has nothing to do with sleep.
If you're a sapient individual, aware of the world around you, depression is the only sensible reaction. It has nothing to do with sleep. That sounds like Nosferatu thinking. Labeling me dumb there? Yeah, right?
Come on now, it's a big world out there, and different things are depressing to different people. Everyone reacts to things differently. Ain't it true that a sensible person, as you call them, might even be a different degree of depressed? Very well, I suppose I might have been using a bit of mild hyperbole. Mild is putting it mildly, Buckaroo. Buckaroo? Now I'm even more depressed.
Oh, it's fine.
Regardless, I didn't come here to be a whiner. Oh, boo-hoo, life is hard. Yes, we all know it's hard.
I didn't come here to be a whiner. We all know life is hard. That kind of sounds like... He's calling himself a whiner. Would that be labeling? Or is he black and white thinking again? Because we all know life is hard. I would say it's a should statement, but he didn't say what he should be doing instead. Like, what should he be doing rather than being here whining? It was more of a statement that, like, this is not why he came here.
In the moments I wake up, I feel free. I suppose it must be what being an ignoramus feels like.
Well, that sounds like labeling.
You honestly think feeling good makes you an ignoramus? The phrase ignorance is bliss is most apt, don't you think? But by calling yourself an ignoramus, you're making bliss something to be avoided.
He's got a point there.
Yes, unfortunate how that works, isn't it? The only way to be happy is by being a fool. Partner, those are your labels. Try using something more positive and see how you feel. What, shall I say that by being ignorant, I am a noble genius? Still just labels. It wears off rather quickly, but I must admit that I've been chasing that feeling of false contentment. Partner, I gotta cut in here. You're saying a lot of things that just ain't true. Start from the top. Oh, don't be such a bumpkin. If you're a sapient individual, aware of the world around you, depression is the only sensible reaction. It has nothing to do with sleep. Regardless, I didn't come here to be a whiner. Oh, boo-hoo, life is hard. Yes, we all know it's hard.
No?
Dr. Drain is calling himself a whiner for being sad. If he is trying to bully himself into being happy, he has clearly met with minimal success.
Yes, but I already clicked that.
Regardless, I didn't know why'd you say coming and talking to me makes you a whiner. Is that not what I currently am? Sounds to me like you're expressing yourself. Whiner is the word you used. Yeah, if you want to call it whining, that's up to you. That's entirely your label. Oh, very well, call it moaning or whinging if you prefer.
Those are still negative labels.
Moaning, whinging, bellyaching, still all just labels. I don't believe I shall be using the term bellyaching in any case. But as I was saying... Oh, very well. I suppose I might be discounting my experience.
Maybe just a little bit.
I don't know how to say this, amigo. You really don't like letting yourself be happy. Honestly, I'm failing to see the problem with taking this stuff. Seems like it's making you get the rest you need and it makes you feel good. What's the problem? First of all, I do not need to rest.
Yes, you do.
And partaking of this plasma does have downsides. Well, what kind of downsides? I do not know what happens when I partake of the substance.
Ooh.
However, when I wake up, I feel refreshed. But I also smell of blood and sex.
Well, it sounds like you're having a really good time when you black out then.
Once I even woke up wearing a football jersey. It was most distasteful.
Yeah, we can't have that.
I guess you must be having some kind of good time. That is not my idea of a good time. I'm Dr. Drain. I am intelligent and worldly, not some ill-bred monster. I don't go gallivanting into godforsaken places to engage in depraved coitus and the consumption of dirty blood.
Well, maybe if you did, you would calm down a little bit.
It sounds to me like you're real good at denying yourself things. Well, I should be better at it.
Should statements.
You know, Doc, a wise old vampire recently told me something I'm about to tell you. You keep talking about the things you should be doing. You, compadre, are shooting all over yourself.
You're shooting all over yourself? That's so good.
Oh, well, that is vivid, isn't it? I can now add incontinence to my already considerable list of faults. I'm being serious. I'm listening to you tell me I should be doing this, and I shouldn't be doing that. But who gave you all them shoulds and shouldn'ts? I don't know. It shouldn't matter, should it? I've been dead for over 400 years. It's the oldest stuff that sticks with us, amigo. We all got traumas.
Can we talk about your mother?
Heck, we're dead, man. That's traumatic no matter what. What we gotta start with is you. You've been through a lot. Don't rope yourself up so tight. Listen, we're doing good work already, I know it. Now, let's not push too hard. I would really like you to think about where all them shoulds are coming from before we meet again. And be good to yourself, all right, partner? Don't feel like you gotta go cold turkey on that plasma stuff. Yes, well, all the same, I'd rather not do it at all.
Understandable.
Is that actually gonna happen, though? It might. You're dipping into it tonight, aren't you? I was thinking about it.
Oh.
All right, partner. Just give yourself a little compassion. That's all I'm asking. I'll admit, you've given me some things to think about. Not pleasant ones, mind. You can handle it, partner. You're way smarter than I am. Yes, well, that is certainly true. Very well. I shall do some reflecting, inasmuch as our kind can reflect. I shall see you in precisely 4 weeks, then. Farewell, Sam.
Yay, we did it.
Masterfully done, Samuel. I knew you would do well, but that doesn't make me any less pleased.
Well, that was a hell of a rush. That fella's holding on tighter than a holster to a gunslinger's hip.
He woke up smelling of blood and sex. How did you do nothing with that statement, Davy?
It felt real good to help him look at himself a little more kindly.
Good, Samuel. Treasure this feeling, but also rest. Go downstairs, get something to drink, relax in your coffin. Next week you shall see a new client. I think they will be an interesting challenge for you.
Yay, new
Good
client.
evening, Samuel. Rest in peace.
You too, Andy. Well, I guess it's time I got me some grub.
Will you be feasting on a goth couple again tonight?
Well, that's it, I guess. My first client. Can't believe I'm doing this therapy stuff already. Sure could use a drink. I'll check in with Crimson.
Well, if it isn't Yosemite Sam, how you doing tonight, partner?
Is she just gonna call us like a different country character every time we come in here? Because that would be pretty funny.
Better already hearing from someone from the States who knows the lingo.
I'm digging the music.
I'm not from any states, cowpoke. District of Columbia girl here.
I figured you must have been coastal. You sound a little more, polished than I do.
You should hear my German.
Maybe some other time. My brain's full tonight. I had my first therapy session with a real client.
Oh, yeah? How do you think it went?
I could say it was great or say it was awful. Well, we're not trying to put ourselves down, so let's say it went great.
I reckon it was a bullseye on my end. You should have seen me. Labeling, blam, disqualifying the positive, kapow.
Bam, kapow.
I'm glad to hear it. Someone has got to sort these vamps out. They know how to hold on to their problems.
You ain't kidding. Living or dead, once people hit 70, they get pretty dang set in their ways.
Who you telling?
You know Andy still uses a typewriter? I can't get that gorgeous man to see the light.
Alright, I would still use a typewriter if I had one though. I like that clicky noise.
Keep it up, cowboy. You're a breath of fresh air for these ancient ones.
Anyone ever tell you you're wise beyond your years, Crimson? You must have had some life.
Afraid I'm exactly as wise as my years. How old do you think I am, cowboy?
Oh, don't fall for that trap.
I'm gonna do the gentlemanly thing and not hazard a guess.
You would have gotten it wrong anyway. I'm 50 years young.
No way.
50? I died around that age and I looked like shit. But you ain't a vampire.
Like I told you, I'm Andy's blood partner. He shares his blood with me too, just not enough to turn me into one of you.
Well, why not?
I've been 30 for a good while now.
But you ain't joining our team? Sounds like a story.
Not for tonight, buckaroo. I bet you're thirsty after a big night. Andy told me to give this to you.
Oh yeah? What is it?
Oh, how cute.
We had a group of Americans come in last week who donated their blood. Andy can't stand the stuff. He says the blood glucose levels are too high.
Yeah.
But he thought you'd appreciate it.
That's fair.
Oh, it ain't so bad. I gotta ask though, what does Andy's blood taste like?
To me, it tastes like life itself, cowboy.
I ain't sure I understand.
Never you mind. Look, Tex, I've got some customers to serve, so go enjoy your juice, okay?
Oh, of course. I'm keen to get some rest anyway. You have yourself a fine night, Crimson.
There he is, my incredible protege.
Come on now, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Evidence stands against that reasoning, my friend. Do we need to talk about disqualifying the positive again?
Probably all the time.
All right, I get it. I guess I've been muddling through okay.
You've been doing wonderfully. I hope you are ready for a bit of a challenge tonight.
Okay, before we find out who our next challenge is, I want to go through the journal and see if he added anything. Alright, looks like he did. So, April 9th was the last one we read. April 11th, woo, what a day. I made it to Andy's club in Leipzig. Folks are real nice here. A couple of goths were real friendly. They've got a darn tootin' bartender, and even a friendly greeter. He don't talk too much, but I can tell he's an introspective sort. Now Andy, that's one hell of a vampire. He's just got this presence. You can tell he's 3,000 and that is freaky as heck, but he makes you feel at home. Butt naked. I don't know how else to describe it. Oh, and I went to a kink room. Yeah, Sam Wall's kink room. My big brother would have gotten a kick out of that one. I ain't gonna write about it here. I should get some sleep in this fancy coffin Andy lent me anyway. Then April 12th, I learned some more therapy stuff today. Figure I've been doing a lot of this disqualifying the positive thing. I feel like I've got to be humble after this shit I pulled back when I was a bastard, but maybe that's just the shame talking. Andy says I'm ready to start seeing clients now that I've got my head wrapped around this whole cognitive distortion thing. Can't believe it's all happening so fast. Went for a nice walk exploring Leipzig. There's a music school here and the kids are always performing stuff. I tried asking for Oh Susanna, but kids today don't appreciate good music. Dang kids with their CD-ROM music. The wax cylinder was fine. Dang kids with their CD-ROMs. And April 19th, I met my first client tonight. A hoo boy. He did not like me much. It sounds as though he doesn't like anybody much though, so I can't be too disappointed. Poor fella, I ain't never seen anyone so high-strung. Well, maybe Pussifer Jones, 80 years later, and the memory of him still makes me laugh. That kitty even hated John, and I think all his animals loved him. She would hiss even when eating her food. It was the darndest thing. I picked up that this Dr. Drain is a real should statement kind of fella, but I think I can help him out. If I can get him to take a nap, I think he'll be a lot less grumpy. Also relatable. This kind of reminds me too of Arthur Morgan's journal in Red Dead. Bless his soul. Alright, let's find out who our new client is.
Your next client has been known to be somewhat difficult.
As if our last one wasn't?
Here, look at her intake form.
Isabella Deste. Dang, she's got some funny taste in hats.
Isabella Deste, age 550, female, origin Renaissance. Isabella Deste was a key figure in the Italian Renaissance, funding the works of Leonardo da Vinci, Andrea Mantegna, and Michelangelo. She received a humanist education and knows much about history, art, music, and philosophy. She comes from a highly aristocratic background, but has endured considerable family issues through the generations. She states that she is undergoing an existential immortality crisis, suggesting that her life and unlife have been nothing but meaningless. Suggestion, be exceedingly polite.
I think you should get along quite well then.
Walked right into that one.
Isabella is not your average vampire. She was once the powerful matriarch of one of the most influential families in Europe. She fraternized with popes and kings, and she also wielded great power over the art world. Some say that she was the model for the Mona Lisa.
Ooh.
One of them highfalutin types, huh? I don't think she's gonna like me much.
She is as human as any of us, Samuel. I already know you will find a way to relate with her.
If you say so.
Remember, you can always seek my advice if you feel lost. You are not alone. But I hear the beating of elegant wings. Breathe, Samuel. Oh, and do be polite.
You got it. I'll do my best.
Goodness. So you are the new therapist Andromachos told me of. I was not expecting someone so rugged.
I'm American.
Sam Wall's at your service, ma'am.
You are a therapist.
In training.
Well, that's what I'm here for, ma'am.
Enough with this, ma'am. I am not running a whorehouse. You may call me Senora.
Oof. I want my affirmations to sound like this guy's voice. That would be great. Alright, Senora. Alright, Senora. Alright, Senora.
All right, senora.
You have seen my what? Have you been speaking under my skirts, young man.
Huh? What are you talking about, lady?
Signora. Say it.
Oh, he's gonna struggle.
Signora.
Signora.
Signora. Signora.
Signora?
Porca miseria. This is not going to be easy, is it?
Therapy ain't never easy, Signora.
So, therapy is always easy then.
Oh boy.
I said it ain't never easy, Signora.
Is therapy easy or is it not?
Not, I guess.
Oh, how are we to examine my inner demons if your own speech is so diabolical?
You know what? Let's start over.
Yeah, maybe.
Greetings and salutations, Signora. I am most honored to receive you in my humble office.
Very well. I suppose it will do.
Jeez.
I'm just here to help, Signora. It says here on your intake forms that you've been having a tough time lately.
A tough time. Indeed, yes, it has been a tough time. The realization that not only am I a corpse, but that I have been a useless corpse for nearly 400 years is a tough time.
Elf is over here ready to fight this Signora Isabella. She is ready to throw hands.
So what set off this feeling that you're a corpse?
I saw a film at the cinema.
Hey, I love the cinema.
Bond with her over Hollywood glamour. She likes the arts. Yeah? Would she rather do glamour or the actors themselves? I did not wake up with the intent of taking shit. That's absolutely valid. Let's bond with her over actors?
Hot dang, them actors can really light up the screen sometimes. I'll admit, I'm pretty into the celebrity gossip scene.
Ooh,
Who's hooking up with who, who's making
No, he
waves.
should have went with
I can't get enough of it.
their skill level and not with the gossip.
A foolish obsession. One must appreciate art, not the artist. If common mortals knew what Caravaggio had done in his free time, they
Oof.
would burn every one of his paintings.
I didn't think that was the direction he was gonna go in when I picked that option.
They'd have to know who Caravaggio is first.
Oh? Do you know who Caravaggio is?
Maybe let's get back to talking about what it was you saw at the cinema.
It was a most terrible film. One that shook me to my core. The pain of it lingers with me still 5 years later.
Oh, this should be good.
Well, movies can be pretty powerful. Heck, I remember seeing one of the first films. There was a train coming right for the audience. We thought we were dead for sure.
This film was not powerful. It was meaningless. It said nothing. Did nothing. Less than nothing. As loudly and garishly as possible. And the audience, fools that they were, cheered, applauded this desecration of the mind. I hate this film with all my being, for it has done the cruelest thing. It has revealed the dark truth. This life that I cling to has no purpose.
Dang, what the heck was this movie?
Space Wars. Rise of the Space Walker.
She didn't like Star Wars.
Wait a minute. Space Wars, the big science fiction franchise?
Yes, I believe it is important to understand modern media diet.
But that's the movie that gave you your personal crisis?
Mind your tone. Do not think me a fool. I know it was not high art.
But
But the money it made, it would make even the Pope blush. This stinking trash. This is what the people want. You see, I understand now. My attempts to infuse art with meaning were pointless. All that I am, all that I ever was, is dead.
understandable.
Once, I elevated art, and all the world benefited. Why have I lost my power to elevate art now? It was all for nothing. What good was guiding Da Vinci when they sell the Mona Lisa on beer coasters? It should not be so. Art should have meaning, purpose. Beauty should expose truth. But it seems I am just a dead woman. A walking corpse who is not worth listening to. I should walk into the sun.
I'm seeing a lot of should statements here.
You're saying you should walk into the sun. Well, why should you?
Because clearly my work has had no purpose.
All right, let's go ahead and say that's true. Why should you walk into the sun?
No one listens, no one cares. They lie about virtue and honor, truth and beauty. I have failed to make them listen. So what has my purpose been?
So is burning up supposed to be your purpose then? You ain't a cigarette.
You are being too literal.
So you're not supposed to burn up after all. That's what I'm hearing.
Your rhetoric is beastly. Cicero would weep.
Jeez.
Good thing you ain't here then, huh? Just a sec, Senora. You're a smart lady, but you've been saying some stuff that just ain't true. Let's go over what you just said.
You see, I understand now. My attempts to infuse art with meaning were pointless. All that I am, all that I ever was, is dead.
No, black and white thinking, the Nosferatu thinking.
Once, I elevated art, and all the world benefited. Why have I lost my power to elevate art now?
I don't know, it might be control fallacy.
It was all for nothing. What good was guiding Da Vinci when they sell the Mona Lisa on beer coasters? It should not be so. Art should have meaning, purpose. Beauty should expose truth.
Oh, this is a hard one.
But it seems I am just a dead woman. A walking corpse who is not worth listening to. I should walk into the sun.
We went over that is should speaking. Should statement.
Just a sec, Senora. You're a smart lady.
You see,
Okay.
I understand now. My attempts to infuse art with meaning were...
I'm gonna try control fallacy on this
all
one.
that I am.
No?
For such a complicated woman, the answers are overly simple for Signora d'Este, are they not, Samuel?
Oh, you're right then.
You see,
Nosferatu
I
thinking.
You don't seem that dead to me. We're having this conversation, ain't we? Ain't just lying there decomposing.
You called it.
It is no different. I might as well be rotting in the ground.
I think you might get pretty bored.
Are you getting smart with me, boy?
Look, I'm just talking facts. If you're saying all you are is dead, I think you might be doing some Nosferatu thinking. It ain't black and white. You're here. But let's go back to what you were saying.
Once, I elevated art, and all the world benefited. Why have I lost my power to elevate art now?
This one just feels like a control fallacy. We'll try disqualifying the positive, though. Nope.
Signora d'Este believes she can elevate all art, it seems. A lot of responsibility.
Once,
Yeah, control
I
fallacy.
elevated.
All the world benefited? There's a lot of people, and they got a lot of different preferences. You can't get them all, can you?
But I could, once upon a time.
That's because your world was small once upon a time.
You can't reach everybody, Senora. I hadn't even heard of the Mona Lisa until about 1911.
Did you have any schooling whatsoever?
He's a cowboy, leave him alone.
No, I didn't. But I don't think anyone in my time knew about the Mona Lisa either.
Oh, how wonderful. You add to my despair.
I'm saying you can't reach everyone, even in your own time.
That is true. I doubt the rabble had much of an opinion about the so-called great masters.
Wow.
We only know what we know. But you were saying,
It was all for nothing. What good was guiding Da Vinci when they sell the Mona Lisa on beer coasters?
come on now. Just because the Mona Lisa's been on a coaster doesn't mean that's all it's ever been for.
That one was disqualifying the positive.
I think you might be downplaying just what an impact you've had on the world.
The world needs no help from me to reduce my life's efforts to cheap commodities.
So just because something gets printed on a t-shirt, that cancels out everything that's good about it?
Yes, that is exactly what it does.
Yeesh.
And I thought I was good at disqualifying the positive.
It should not be so. Art should have meaning, purpose. Beauty should expose truth.
You're saying art should have meaning and purpose. But does all art need those things?
That one was should statements.
What is the purpose of creation otherwise?
How about if I just like doodling? Ain't that a good enough reason to draw?
That's why I draw.
It is a pointless reason.
Wow.
Well, maybe I want to do something pointless. All I'm saying is that I don't have the same shoulds you do.
Perhaps you should.
Damn.
But I don't. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do.
Which is speak like a peasant.
Heck, that's what I am, Senora. Ain't nothing gonna change that reality. Let's get back to what you were saying.
You know, you make me sound rather mad. Like an old woman, railing at the world, screaming into the void, all to no purpose.
She's Grandma Runt.
Look, Senora, all I'm trying to do is show you where you're a little rigid in your thinking is all. You're expecting a lot from the world and a lot from yourself. It ain't no surprise that you're gonna be disappointed over and over again.
I suppose that is some insight. Indeed, I have been in a state of disappointment from the moment I was 16.
Just girly things.
But what happened when you were 16?
I got married.
I think I get it.
You absolutely do not get it.
Oh shit.
You are a man.
Oh shit.
Well then, help me understand.
Frankie, my husband. He taught me the meaning of disappointment.
Damn it, Frankie.
He taught me the world was built upon lies. These things men proclaim as values. Truth, beauty, the spiritual. They were all fiction. But if men did not live according to principle, I would. I would set the example and shame them all. Yet, what a fool I have been to think humanity had greater aims.
He taught me he was a man.
So, what's this greater aim you're talking about?
Man acts like man. Fork found in kitchen.
I received a humanist education as a child. I was taught that the pathway to God was through rationality and a questioning mind, not slavish devotion to tradition. This world is not Eden, but it could be. Or so I thought.
So you're talking about a literal pathway to God?
No, fool. A pathway to godliness. To live according to our natures. Our true natures.
You mean being nudists? You mean being vampires? You mean being Italian? I kind of want to pick the you mean being Italian option. I'm gonna do it.
Oh, you mean being Italian?
Madre de Dio, what are you talking about? What is an Italian?
Oh, look at her face. I upset her.
I care nothing of nations and their petty squabbles. Like mortals, they die and are forgotten.
You know, she says that, but I bet if I broke pasta in the same room as her, she would fucking kill me.
Oh, sorry. I just figured on account of the accent and all.
What accent?
Never mind. Well, talk to me about this pathway to God. How do you reckon we find this path?
I also break spaghetti because it actually deeply irritates me to my core that it doesn't actually fit in a pot.
I reckon nothing. I've always known that we can find our way back to God by fulfilling our human potential to be the greatest souls possible.
I have always known... Oh wait, there's more to this, maybe.
I have always known we must master ourselves and our baser instincts. Virtue must triumph over vice. I have always known that the earthly lives we lead are disgusting, and only war and death can come of them.
That sounds like some black and white thinking.
Hold up just a sec there, cowpoke. You really think all we can do is sow death and destruction?
I mean, she's kind of not wrong.
I do not poke cows. Do I look like a farmer?
Come on, Senora. You've been alive to see what? 15, 20 billion people live and die? You really saying death and destruction is all each and every one of them ever amounted to?
Well, perhaps not individually, but as an immortal, I look at the greater arc of history.
Well, most of us ain't looking to contribute to the greater arc of history, but that don't mean life's pointless. That's some Nosferatu thinking, I'll tell you what. But let's continue.
I have always known the people have become fat and lazy, and living within the Garden of Eden is impossible in such a state.
I also have become fat and lazy, but you know what? It's fine. Alright, I've always known that people have become fat and lazy, and living within the Garden of Eden is impossible in such a state. Do you think this one's control? What's Davey over there talking? Shit, I break everything I touch. We doing therapy. God. I've always known people have become fat and lazy, and living within the Garden of Eden is impossible in such a state. Nope.
Our esteemed client is very good at coming up with names for
Oh,
others.
labeling.
Perhaps you can call her out on this.
I have always known.
Sounds to me like you're coming up with labels for kicking people out of the Garden of Eden.
Oh, so labels can apply to other people too, not just yourself. Got it. I need sugar, don't ask my brain. Yeah, I had coffee this morning, but I could really go for like some sweets. I do have that German chocolate cake in the fridge, which I will definitely have to break into after stream.
Is that all we amount to? Fat and lazy?
Yes, and that's fine.
Look around your own country, boy. Look at me. See my disgusting rolls and saggy features. Would you let me into the Garden of Eden?
Not with that attitude.
Well, sure, why the heck not?
I am glad you are not the gatekeeper then.
You rather have a gatekeeper who wouldn't let you in? Listen, Senora, you gotta go easy on yourself with them labels. Well, let's keep talking, though.
Oh, I want a frappe. A frappe sounds so good right now, actually. Ooh.
I have always known we should act with dignity if we would take our place at God's side once more.
I think this here's the meat of it, Senora. The filet mignon.
Filet mignon. What a treat.
I fear your French is even worse than your Italian.
Here's the thing, Senora. Who came up with all them shoulds that'll take you to God?
The Bible.
Why, the greatest thinkers of history that I studied in my youth. Plato, Aristotle, Cicero, Aquinas.
Frappe and get my nails done. That sounds so good. I haven't got my nails done in forever. But like just getting my hair cut yesterday cost like $80, and I was like, probably shouldn't get my nails done.
Sounds like a bunch of dead guys to me. They really had it all figured out way back when, huh?
Well, of course not. How foolish do you think me?
Not at all, Senora. Just questioning where all them shoulds are coming from. But let's keep going. These things here, you've always known. I gotta challenge them, Senora. Let's talk about what you just said.
I reckon nothing. I've always known that we can find our way back to God by fulfilling our human potential to be the greatest souls possible.
I've always known that we can find our way back to God by fulfilling our human potential to be the greatest souls possible. That's not a should statement, it's not labeling, it's not disqualifying the positive. I don't know if this is black and white thinking or control fallacy. How do you define control fallacy, sir? Get out of here, little bug. Let's see. That's the journal. Let's see. With my dark powers, vampire. Yeah, I feel like it's control fallacy.
You really think we've got that much control, Senora? All we gotta do is be perfect, and then we've got our pathway to the Almighty?
Yes, it seems quite clear to me.
Senora, if that's how it is, it ain't no wonder you ain't forgiving yourself or anyone for the slightest mistakes. I would ask myself if anyone really has that much control. But keep talking.
I have always known we must master ourselves and our baser instincts. Virtue must triumph over vice. I have always known that the earthly lives we lead are disgusting, and only war and death. I have always known the people have become fat and lazy, and living within the Garden of Eden is impossible in such a state. I have always known we should act with dignity if we would take our...
These things here, you've always known. I gotta challenge them, see?
Okay.
I reckon nothing. I've always known that we can find our way...
You really think we've got that much control, Senora? All we got to do is be perfect, and then we've got our pathway to the Almighty?
Yes, it seems quite clear to me.
Senora, if that's how it is, it ain't no wonder you ain't forgiving yourself or anyone for the slightest mistakes. I would ask myself if anyone really has that much control. But keep talking.
I have always known we must master ourselves and our baser instincts. Virtue must triumph over vice.
You've been around a while, Senora. In all that time, when have we mastered ourselves and our baser instincts?
Not a single day. Men especially have no bottom to their depravity.
Jesus Christ.
All right, fair enough. So us fellas have disappointed you every day for a few hundred years, right? Ain't that proof that nothing you do is gonna change that?
Dark.
An evil thought, Mr. Sam Walls, but true, I concede.
We're in agreement then. It's a little bit of a control fallacy to think that's gonna change because of you. Well, let's keep going.
So you think you are so very clever, do you, boy? That by pointing out my distortions, you have won? That is where you are truly the fool. I already know how wrong I have been, that I have been chasing an impossible fiction all my life. Indeed, I now believe that even if we did follow the pathway to God, once we reach the end, we would discover that he, too, was a work of fiction.
That's quite a revelation.
When I say God, I mean goodness, propriety, intelligence. God himself is a lie.
I see. So you've lost your faith.
Yes, it has crumbled to dust, much like myself in this fat, wretched old body. Beauty and truth are lies. Ideas developed by ugly men to justify their existence.
She is popping off.
While we occupy ourselves chasing those ideals, they create space wars to leech our money and our vitality. And to think they call me judgmental, while they created the false ideal to judge against. You don't think I'm judgmental, do you, boy?
Of course not. Oh. Okay, yes, absolutely.
I wouldn't put it that way exactly. Besides, I ain't gonna call you names. In fact, that's where I think I want to challenge you. Senora,
I feel like I was not
the
supposed to
person
call her
you judge more
judgmental.
than anyone is yourself. I know you got raised with all them high ideals, so of course you're getting disappointed when nobody can reach them. That's some heavy pressure, not just on them, but on yourself. I'd ask yourself what all that pressure's doing for you. Is it bringing you any satisfaction? We can't always control what things are gonna be.
This is not acceptable.
Gosh.
Hold on, I know this one. What the heck she mean it's unacceptable to not be in control all the time? Let's say that again, Senora. I got some bad news for you, Senora.
Jeez.
None of us really has the power to change the world on our own. Not even a clever lady like yourself. I suggest we start working on ways of helping you find a way to accept the world for what it is.
But the world is base and unworthy.
God.
Remember that term I told you about? Nosferatu thinking? You're gonna strip all the color out of the world if you keep doing that. The world's a lot more than just base and unworthy.
Nosferatu thinking. I am not used to having my own thoughts thrown back at me.
Well, that's why you're here, ain't it? I ain't gonna help you change the world, Senora. All I can do is help you find some other perspectives.
She's fun.
I suppose there is a certain simpleton's wisdom in the way you speak.
Simpleton's wisdom.
Thanks. I guess.
Very well, boy. I will consider what you have said. We will meet again in exactly 4 weeks. Do we have an understanding?
Yes, indeed, Senora.
Ugh. Please learn to speak properly by then.
Her face is so funny when she gets disgusted. Oh
Well
god.
done, Samuel. I believe you handled Senora Deste quite well.
You kidding? That lady straight up hates my guts.
Samuel, if Isabella Deste hated your guts, she would not be shy about telling you so.
I 100% believe that.
That I believe.
Older we get, the harder it is to gain a different perspective. Have patience. We are not all as wise as Samuel Walls.
Guess it's just that simpleton's wisdom, as the Senora called it.
Do not adopt her labels, Samuel. I will not stand for it. I know she was a challenge, but you rose to it as I knew you would. I think you deserve a night of hard drinking. What do you say?
A night of hard drinking. Hell yeah.
You don't need to tell me twice. All right, Andy. I'll see you later then.
Indeed, Samuel. Enjoy yourself. Excellent work tonight. Rest in peace.
Dang, I think that's enough abuse for one night. I could use a drink and a quiet night.
How are you gonna have a quiet night in a club, sir?
Hey, cowboy. Why the long face?
I used to say the same thing to my princess.
Is your princess a horse?
Your daughter.
My horse, actually. She never really understood the joke, but I still like telling it to her.
Jeez.
You didn't answer my question, gunslinger. What's got you down?
Oh, I just finished up with my second client. She gave me a tongue lashing to remember her by. You ever talk to someone who's so educated and refined that they make you feel like a space alien?
Only everyone I ever met in law school. At least until I learned to speak their language.
You're a lawyer?
Was, and no, I wasn't the blood-sucking kind before you start with the vampire jokes. Just a wide-eyed DC do-gooder. But I get what you're talking about. People can use language like a membership card. You don't speak the lingo, you don't get in.
Well, that's just what I mean. I just ain't sure I've got the lingo for a 500-year-old high society Renaissance woman.
Well, how do you think your session went? Think she heard you?
We're not gonna put ourselves down. I'm going to say that I think she heard us.
Well, she did say that I'd given her some stuff to think about. And to tell the truth, she seemed kind of embarrassed about that.
So what? If she heard you, I'd take the W, cowboy.
Take the W. What, the wagon?
The win, my brother.
The win, Gramps. Maybe she isn't gonna relate to you, but that doesn't mean she can't hear you.
Oh, you're probably right. I guess I'll take the W. And while you're at it, I'll take some B2. That's blood, see?
What are you in the mood for? Men? Women? Something a little more off the beaten path?
Ladies, fellas, people who don't give a fuck.
I think I'll have some takeaway tonight. What have you got?
Here, try this. Should put some color in those cheeks.
You really ain't squeamish, huh, Crimson?
Nah, healthy blood never hurt anyone. I've been hanging around vampires for 20 years, and they aren't so scary.
Not even Bert?
What, that old pointy-eared teddy bear? He's a total sweetheart, unless someone gets aggressive or touchy with the customers.
Well, what does he do then?
They get a stern warning.
And if they don't listen?
Why, then he eats them.
That's good. Yeah, I like that.
Maybe he is a teddy bear. I met Teddy Roosevelt back in the night, and I'm pretty sure he would have done the same thing. Speaking of which, I got to thirst something fierce. I think I'll head back to my coffin for a little rest. But you have a good night, Crimson.
You too, Sam. Don't let the Draculas bite.
Time to crack open a warm one.
Crack open a warm one.
That's the good stuff. Now, maybe I can find a quote from one of my favorite books that'll help give me a little inspiration. Or I could watch the Three Stooges hit each other a whole bunch. Or I could just go to sleep. What's it gonna be, Sammy boy?
Read Thoreau.
My profession is to be always on the alert, to find God in nature, to know his lurking places. I always like that quote. I ain't a God-fearing kind, but it's true. There's a natural beauty behind the man-made world if you know where to look. Isabella D'Este's all culture and breeding, but underneath, she's got her vulnerable and beautiful humanity too. I just gotta remember that. All right, that's enough for one night. Time for some rest. I hope my next client will be a little easier.
Samuel, good evening. I am glad to see you looking so fresh and well slept.
All right, I think that's a good place to end it today. We got through 2 clients. That's awesome. And then next week, we'll jump into our next client. So thank you so much, everybody who stopped by to hang out during the stream. I super appreciate the company. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.